In the heart of the battlefield, where courage meets uncertainty, one military dog's fate hung in the balance. This brave canine, known for its unwavering loyalty and fierce determination, was declared missing in action. But what unfolded next was nothing short of extraordinary. As the dust settled, whispers of hope emerged, intertwined with tales of resilience that would leave even the hardest hearts softened. Prepare to be moved as we delve into a story that transcends the ordinary, a story of love, loyalty, and the unbreakable bond between a soldier and his four-legged companion. Meet Buddy, a dedicated military dog with a nose for danger and a heart full of courage. Trained to detect explosives and protect his team, Buddy was more than just a dog. He was a soldier in his own right. Every day, he faced the perils of the battlefield alongside his handler, Sergeant James, forging a bond that was unbreakable. Their connection was forged through countless missions, where trust was paramount and instinct was their greatest weapon. On a routine mission deep in enemy territory, Buddy and his team were tasked with securing a vital supply route. As they moved stealthily through the rugged terrain, the weight of their mission hung in the air. Buddy's keen instincts kept everyone safe. He sniffed out hidden traps, alerted the team to potential threats, and guided them through treacherous paths. His presence brought comfort to the soldiers, a reminder of home amidst the chaos. As they traversed the landscape, the camaraderie among the soldiers was palpable. They shared stories of their lives back home, of families waiting for them, of dreams yet to be fulfilled. Buddy, with his wagging tail and playful demeanor, became the heart of the group, lifting spirits even in the darkest moments. He would fetch sticks and play tug-of-war, reminding everyone of the joys of life outside the battlefield. But that day, the mission took a dramatic turn. As they approached a seemingly quiet area, a deafening explosion rocked the ground beneath them. The earth shook, and chaos erupted as smoke filled the air, obscuring their vision. Confusion reigned as the team scrambled to regain their bearings, their training kicking in amidst the panic. In the midst of the turmoil, Buddy was separated from his team, lost in the haze of battle. Sergeant James called out for Buddy, his voice strained with worry, but the sound was swallowed by the chaos around them. The team quickly regrouped, but the reality set in. Their beloved companion was missing. As night fell, the search efforts intensified. Flashes of light from their flashlights pierced the darkness as they scoured the area, calling Buddy's name into the void. Hours turned into an agonizing wait, and the weight of uncertainty pressed heavily on their hearts. The bond they shared with Buddy was not just that of a soldier and his dog. It was a bond built on loyalty and love. As the stars twinkled above, the team refused to give up hope. They knew Buddy was out there, fighting against the odds, just as he had always done. The battle was far from over, and the search for their hero had only just begun. As dawn broke over the war-torn landscape, the team gathered for a briefing. The weight of worry hung heavily in the air, each soldier's face etched with concern for their missing companion. Sergeant James stood at the front, his heart aching as he addressed his team. "We can't leave Buddy behind. He's more than just a dog. His family," he declared, determination igniting a fire in their hearts. With renewed resolve, the team divided into search parties, each taking a different route through the rugged terrain. They retraced their steps, scanning every inch of the ground, calling out Buddy's name with voices filled with urgency and hope. Each rustle in the bushes made their hearts race, but as the hours passed, despair began to creep in. Meanwhile, Buddy found himself in a precarious situation. Disoriented and alone, he navigated through the dense underbrush, his instincts guiding him. The sounds of distant gunfire echoed around him, but he remained focused, determined to find his way back to Sergeant James. Buddy's training kicked in, and he relied on his senses to detect danger and avoid it. As he moved cautiously, Buddy stumbled upon a small village, abandoned and eerily quiet. The remnants of a life once lived were scattered around. broken toys, faded photographs, and empty homes. It was a stark reminder of the war's toll on innocent lives. Buddy felt a pang of sadness for those who had been affected by the conflict, but he pressed on, his loyalty to his handler driving him forward. Back with the search parties, the tension was palpable. Each soldier felt the burden of their mission, knowing that every moment spent searching for Buddy was a moment they could be in danger. The sun began to set, casting long shadows over the landscape, and with it came a chilling realization: time was running out. As they navigated through the debris, a sudden noise caught their attention. A rustling sound, faint but unmistakable, emerged from the thicket nearby. The soldiers froze, their hearts pounding in anticipation. Could it be Buddy? They called out, their voices echoing through the trees, but there was no response. Just when hope seemed to wane, a figure emerged from the shadows, a silhouette that sent shockwaves through the team. Could it be their beloved Buddy? Or was it merely a trick of the light? The tension in the air was thick as they waited, breathless, for the truth to reveal itself. What lay ahead would challenge their understanding of loyalty and the unbreakable bond between a soldier and his dog. As the last rays of sunlight faded, the soldiers regrouped, their faces a mix of determination and anxiety. Sergeant James rallied them together, his voice steady despite the turmoil in his heart. "We're not giving up. Buddy is out there, and we will find him," he declared, igniting a spark of hope among the weary team. With a renewed sense of purpose, the search parties expanded their efforts. They formed a grid, meticulously combing through the area where Buddy had last been seen. Each soldier took turns calling out his name, their voices echoing through the trees, mingling with the sounds of nature. The air was thick with tension, but they pressed on, driven by the love and loyalty they felt for their four-legged comrade. As they moved deeper into the wilderness, the soldiers shared stories of Buddy's bravery and antics. "Remember the time he chased that rabbit during training?" One soldier chuckled, breaking the somber mood. Laughter mingled with the anxiety, reminding them of the joy Buddy brought into their lives. Each shared memory strengthened their resolve, reinforcing the bond they had not just with Buddy, but with each other. Meanwhile, Buddy continued his journey through the abandoned village. He sniffed the air, searching for familiar scents, but everything felt foreign. The village was silent, save for the rustling of leaves and the distant sound of gunfire. Despite his fear, Buddy pressed on, driven by an instinctual need to reunite with Sergeant James. As night fell, the soldiers set up a temporary camp, their spirits low but their determination unyielding. They took turns keeping watch, scanning the darkness for any sign of their beloved companion. The stars twinkled above, a stark contrast to the chaos below, reminding them of the hope that still flickered in their hearts. Suddenly, a faint barking echoed through the stillness of the night, sending a jolt of adrenaline through the soldiers. "Did you hear that?" one soldier whispered, eyes wide with anticipation. They listened intently, hearts racing. The sound grew louder, more frantic, and hope surged within them. Could it be Buddy? In an instant, the team sprang into action, following the sound through the thick brush. Each step felt like an eternity as they navigated through the darkness, driven by the possibility of reuniting with their friend. As they approached the source of the barking, the atmosphere shifted, anticipation mixed with anxiety. Just ahead, they caught a glimpse of movement. The silhouette of a dog emerged from the shadows, illuminated by the moonlight. The soldiers held their breath, praying it was Buddy. As the figure drew closer, recognition flooded their hearts. It was him, Buddy, weary but alive, his tail wagging furiously as he bounded toward them. Tears of relief filled Sergeant James's eyes as he knelt down, arms wide open. Buddy leaped into his embrace, a whirlwind of fur and joy. The team erupted in cheers, their hearts swelling with gratitude. The bond they shared was stronger than ever, a testament to the loyalty that transcended the battlefield. But the night was far from over. As they celebrated their reunion, the distant sounds of conflict grew louder, a stark reminder that their mission was still at hand. With Buddy back by their side, they prepared to face whatever challenges lay ahead, united in their purpose and strengthened by the love they shared. With Buddy safely back at Sergeant James's side, the team felt a renewed sense of purpose. The joy of reunion was quickly overshadowed by the reality of their situation. The distant sounds of gunfire and explosions served as a harsh reminder that their mission was not yet complete. They gathered around a small fire, strategizing their next move under the blanket of stars. "Listen up," Sergeant James said, his voice steady and commanding. "We need to secure the area and ensure the safety of the supply route. Buddy's instincts will guide us, but we need to be vigilant." The soldiers nodded, their expressions a mix of determination and resolve. They knew the risks, but they also understood the importance of their mission. As dawn approached, the team set out, Buddy leading the way with his keen senses. The landscape was eerily quiet, the calm before the storm. Every soldier remained alert, their eyes scanning the horizon for any signs of danger. Buddy trotted ahead, his nose to the ground, occasionally stopping to sniff the air, ensuring the path was safe. Suddenly, a rustle in the bushes caught their attention. The team froze, hearts pounding. "What was that?" one soldier whispered, gripping his weapon tightly. Sergeant James motioned for silence, and they listened intently. The sound came again, followed by a low growl. Buddy's ears perked up, and he instinctively moved closer to Sergeant James, ready to protect his handler. "Stay sharp," James instructed, his voice barely above a whisper. Just then, a group of enemy soldiers emerged from the underbrush, their faces grim and determined. The tension in the air thickened as both sides realized they were on a collision course. In an instant, the battlefield erupted into chaos. Gunfire rang out, echoing through the hills as the soldiers fought to defend their position. Buddy sprang into action, darting between the soldiers, barking fiercely as he worked to distract the enemy. His training kicked in as he darted toward the nearest threat, using his agility and speed to evade bullets. Sergeant James fought alongside his team, his heart racing as he watched Buddy engage with the enemy. "Stay close, Buddy," he shouted, knowing that their bond was their greatest strength. The chaos of battle swirled around them, but the connection between man and dog remained unbreakable. As the fight intensified, it became clear that they were outnumbered. The enemy pressed forward, determined to take control of the supply route. But the soldiers, fueled by their loyalty to each other and their beloved Buddy, refused to back down. They fought with everything they had, drawing strength from their shared experiences and the unbreakable bond they had formed. In a moment of desperation, James spotted an enemy soldier aiming at Buddy, and without thinking, he lunged forward, putting himself in harm's way. "No!" he yelled, his heart racing as he reached for Buddy, who was obliviously charging at the enemy. Time seemed to slow as he watched the scene unfold, praying that his instincts would guide him in time. Just as the enemy soldier pulled the trigger, Buddy leaped, tackling the soldier to the ground. The bullet missed, and James felt a surge of relief wash over him. Buddy had once again proven his bravery, saving his handler and turning the tide of battle. With renewed determination, the soldiers rallied together, fighting fiercely alongside Buddy. They pushed back against the enemy, using their training and teamwork to gain the upper hand. As the sun began to rise, casting a golden light over the battlefield, the tide shifted. With one final push, they drove the enemy back, securing the supply route and emerging victorious. Exhausted but triumphant, the team gathered together, embracing one another in celebration. Buddy stood proudly by Sergeant James's side, his tail wagging furiously. In that moment, They knew they had not only survived but had forged an unbreakable bond that would last a lifetime. The battle had tested them, but their loyalty and love had prevailed, reminding them that together they could face any challenge that lay ahead. With the dawn of a new day, the battlefield lay quiet, a stark contrast to the chaos that had unfolded just hours before. The soldiers, weary yet victorious, gathered their gear and prepared to return to base. The weight of their mission still lingered, but the palpable sense of accomplishment filled the air. They had faced danger head-on and emerged stronger, thanks in large part to their beloved companion, Buddy. As they made their way back, the camaraderie among the team was evident. They shared stories of bravery, laughter, and the close calls that had tested their resolve. Buddy trotted alongside Sergeant James, his tail wagging as he soaked in the affectionate pats and praises from the soldiers. He had not only been a protector, but also a source of joy and comfort during their darkest moments. Upon reaching the base, the atmosphere shifted. The team was met with cheers and applause from fellow soldiers, grateful for their safe return. The bond they had forged in battle was celebrated, but it was Buddy who stole the show. The military dog had become a hero, embodying the spirit of loyalty and bravery that resonated throughout the ranks. Sergeant James knelt beside Buddy, his heart swelling with pride. "You did it, boy. You kept us safe," he whispered, his voice thick with emotion. Buddy responded with a gentle nuzzle, as if he understood the depth of their connection. The bond between them transcended words. It was built on trust, sacrifice, and an unwavering commitment to each other. In the days that followed, the team debriefed and shared their experiences with others. They recounted the harrowing moments of the battle, emphasizing how Buddy's instincts had saved lives. The stories spread like wildfire, and soon, Buddy was not just a military dog. He was a symbol of hope and resilience for the entire unit. As time passed, the team prepared for their next mission. The reality of military life meant that they would face new challenges, but they did so with a renewed sense of purpose. Buddy had proven himself time and again, and the soldiers knew that with him by their side, they could tackle anything that came their way. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Sergeant James sat on the porch of the barracks, Buddy resting his head on his lap. The quiet moments were precious, a time for reflection and gratitude. "We've been through so much together, haven't we?" James mused, scratching Buddy behind the ears. The dog looked up, his eyes shining with understanding. In that moment, James realized that their journey was about more than just missions and battles. It was about the bond they had formed. Buddy was more than just a military dog. He was a loyal friend, a protector, and a source of unwavering support. Together, they had faced the trials of war, and together they would continue to stand strong. As the stars twinkled above, Sergeant James made a silent promise to Buddy. They would always have each other's backs, no matter what lay ahead. The road might be fraught with challenges, but their loyalty and love would guide them through. With Buddy by his side, James felt ready to take on the world, knowing that their bond was unbreakable and that together they could conquer anything that came their way.